and welcome to Sport Africa, the weekly program that's dedicated to you and every sport that makes the continent tick. I'm Janine Anthony, and guess what's coming up? It's January and we're talking football transfer windows. Is it time for Africa to streamline its system?
100%. I would like to be all the same.
We meet a Ugandan with a taste of European football and who's hankering for a return. From Somali Olympian to British asylum seeker, Zamzam Farah's journey has touched lives.
Never give up for whatever you wanna do, either sport or something else.
Kami Kabange shows us just how Rwandan basketball is done, and it's not like this.
This is my best move.
The bravest fans compete for Africa's most anticipated throne, who will be crowned queen in this week's Armchair Expert. Thank you for joining us on BBC Sport Africa, straight from our Lagos studio. Last year, football clubs across Europe's top 5 leagues spent over $1 billion in the January transfer window, which is once again open for feverish business. Now, this annual mid-season scramble has seen clubs see this as a big event for them and their supporters. But the mega money and the media excitement isn't quite replicated here in Africa because different countries have different dates for their transfer windows. So in this week's big question, we're asking, is it time for Africa to have a unified transfer window?
Football's transfer market is just like any other. People buying and people selling. But unlike this market, it's not open all year round.
Football's governing body FIFA only allows 2 transfer windows, one in the break between seasons that can last up to 12 weeks, and one in the middle of the season that can last for 4 weeks.
It will be for the benefit of football, it will be for the protection of the young players, for the protection of the training clubs, and it will be also for the protection of the fan.
The media, fans and even footballers have grown to love the excitement the window and its deadlines create, but it's far from simple.
Each country can decide when their 2 windows open and closes. In Africa, there are 52 countries that have their windows listed on the FIFA website. Some are similar, but of those 52, no 2 countries use exactly the same dates. And many people think that has to change.
It's crazy. One transfer window is starting in January, another is starting in March, other is starting in September, another very close to December.
UEFA is currently considering a shake-up of its European system, one that could reportedly see every league use the same dates for its longer summer window.
So is it also time for a uniformed African transfer window?
100%. I would like to be all the same.
This is exactly what we need in Africa.
So it seems that there is a lot of support for the idea of a uniformed African transfer window. But what are some of the key issues with the current system where each country gets to pick its own date?
We have an offer with one club in Egypt. They want to sign one of our players. But we can't sell this player now because we can't get a replacement for this player because the transfer window here in Tanzania, it's already closed.
When to sell is the big dilemma clubs face because under the current system, they're allowed to sell abroad all year round.
For example, Egypt's window is currently open, meaning teams there can buy players from Tanzania or anywhere else. But because Tanzania's window is short, the selling team can't replace whoever leaves. Only when the window in Tanzania reopens in June will they be able to buy again.
We are open to sell at any time, but we are not open to buy at any time. So what this means is that we are going to be suffering in the CAF competitions because we would have sold our players when we would not have the time and the money to find replacements.
South African teams would sign players in that July and August transfer window, but then couldn't use them in the Champions League. I remember when Mamelodi Sundowns won it in 2016, they signed quite a few players they would love to have used in that campaign, but those players had to sit on the sidelines.
Buying and selling players is a crucial part of football around the world. But generating money is of particular importance to clubs in Africa.
In 2017, 534 professional clubs in Africa were involved in international transfers, spending $16 million in total. They made $58 million in sales. But those figures are dwarfed when compared to Asia, South America, and in particular, Europe.
Some of the people we spoke to said aligning Africa's transfer window with that of Europe's would help more players make moves to big clubs there. But what are the obstacles?
The issue for Africa is that our leagues run over different times. So in some countries they run from sort of March to November, December, and in some countries like South Africa, a growing number of countries actually, they run along the European calendar of August to May.
If the league doesn't start at the same time, I don't think the transfer window would be able to work at the same time. So it's actually a problem.
The challenge in Africa in trying to get uniform, I guess, is the weather for a start. You know, through some months it's just almost impossible for them to play just due to the conditions, whether it be the rainy season, the heat or whatnot.
I don't think you can have a uniform transfer window on the African continent. It's just such a big place. It celebrates its diversity. It's a massive continent. So many disparate things about it. And any attempt to create any sort of uniformity in Africa has failed miserably in the past, and I think it will do so in the future.
In recent years, we've seen the Africa Cup of Nations and the continent's major club competitions move to match the schedule of more than 3/4 of the African leagues. So most of the people we spoke to also back a change to the transfer window system. So we put a question to the people in charge of African football.
So I have a very good case. I'll bring it up in an executive committee meeting, present it to the president, and let's see, if it will enhance. Because you should also know that Europe is different from Africa. So whatever we want to do, we also do it in enhancing the fortune of the game.
We'll be monitoring this closely, so expect more on the transfer series here on Sport Africa. And later on in the show, we'll be meeting a Ugandan who's had a taste of European football and doesn't want to let it go. Time now for our sports quiz Armchair Expert, where we put your sporting knowledge to the test. And this week, the women take center stage. All we have to do is cross over to our referee, Lynn Wachira in Nairobi, to see what's in store.
Welcome to Armchair Expert. There are 3 rounds and the player with the most points at the end is crowned this week's Armchair Expert. Let's meet the contestants.
Hi everyone, my name is Brenda Ongalo. I am a Chelsea fan, Real Madrid fan and a Gor Mahia fan locally. Happy to be here today.
My name is Nyambura Moredi. I'm here to get sporty and have fun.
Looks like it's going to be a ladies' edition. Pretty exciting, but first let's have a look at the rules.
Round 1. It's simple. 30 seconds each to answer as many questions as possible on what's going on in the sporting week.
This week, we are shining the spotlight on African and European football. So all the questions in round 1 and 2 are based around that. Brenda, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Your 30 seconds start now. Who won the 2018 BBC African Footballer of the Year?
Pass.
Mo Salah. Which European award did Lionel Messi win in December?
Pass.
Golden Shoe Award. Who scored twice in Liverpool's 3-1 win over Manchester United in December?
Shaqiri.
Correct. Which former CAF African Footballer of the Year became Liberia president in 2018? It's George Weah. Which team was banned from the 2019 AFCON qualifiers? It's Sierra Leone. And your time is up, Brenda. And you've gotten yourself 1 point. Nyambura, it's your time. Do you think you can top that?
Yeah, I think so.
Your 30 seconds starting now. Which EPL manager was fired on 18th of December 2018?
Jose Mourinho.
Correct. Which runner was named IAAF Male Athlete of the Year?
Eliud Kipchoge.
Correct. Which player won the 2018 Ballon d'Or?
Modric.
Correct. Which team broke Arsenal's 22-game unbeaten run in December?
Southampton.
Correct. Which Ivorian player has won 4 consecutive CAF African Footballer of the Year awards? Yaya Toure or Didier Drogba?
Yaya Toure.
Correct. Which country was stripped of the 2019 AFCON hosting rights?
Morocco.
You're wrong, it's Cameroon. And Nyambura, you have gotten yourself 5 points. Let's have a look at what that has done to the scoreboard. It's Brenda on 1 point and Nyambura on 5 points. See you later on round 2.
Wow, Nyambura is setting the stage on fire, but will she run out of steam? I tell you what, I know someone who isn't running out of steam just yet, and this lady has won the hearts of many around the world. Now, back in 2012, Somalia sent 2 athletes to the London Olympic Games, and one of them was Zamzam Farah. Now, what should have been the highlight of her life soon led to death threats.
I'm really proud of myself. It was a dream come true. I was carrying the flag. It was amazing for the opening ceremony. Although we were a small team, me and another boy, the other teams had a rugby, a football, basketball, jumping, everything, but Somalia only running. It was something that I was dreaming since I was a kid to represent my country. Somehow the lucky came to me and my dream came true. Representing Somalia, that was the best. It was amazing seeing being in the same place with Usain Bolt, Mo Farah. I've been seeing all the time Usain Bolt. We've been running in the same track. Our religion doesn't say women are not allowed to do any sport. Having the death threat is the hardest thing of my life. It's not who I am as a person that I'd done it, a bad thing, or like I murdered someone, or I've been corrupted, or I've been like stolen someone's stuff. But this is something different that some of the people that couldn't understand, like how someone who's running get a death threat, but it's hard to explain sometimes. But anyone who's been in that situation only know how to explain. And whenever I remember it, it makes me sad. But my consolation is my sport, it's running. So when I start running the first mile, I forget everything. Being in a place that you can see everyday people dying in front of you, kids, your moms, your neighbors, the kids that you used to go with in school. Okay, forget whatever happened in the bus. You should focus on what you're doing right now and competing, and it was amazing, really. I started sport when I was 5 years old. I was a tomboy playing football with the boys all the time. Then when I was 17, started playing basketball, then handball, then I ended up running. One day the coach decided to encourage me more running, and I was like, oh no. I was all the time playing basketball because there wasn't that much girls doing running. So there was a race, I came fast that time, so that's the time I decided, like, okay, you can do it.
Do you feel you're helping to expand the reach of the marathon to other communities?
I say to myself, I'm not a hero yet, but still I can be a great example for other women who doesn't get that advantage that I have it. My message to other women, not only Somali women, but all women around the world, never give up for whatever you wanna do, either sport or something else. You should be proud of yourself and you should follow your dream.
They say not all heroes wear capes. Zamzam is certainly a heroine. That's it for part 1. When we come back from the break, we'll meet the Rwandan who isn't quite Michael Phelps, but we'll rather let Tim Duncan teach him how to be the very best on the court. This is Sport Africa from the BBC. You're welcome back to BBC Sport Africa. Now, this next character you're about to meet, we're told, is the guy that no one in the Rwanda men's basketball team wants to pick a fight with. Center Kami Kabange, who's the longest serving member of the squad, has made quite the impression since leaving his home country of birth, Congo, as a 23-year-old. So, let's know more about him in Who Am I?
My favorite arena was in Luanda, in Angola. I played there in 2009. It was my first international game there. I will do swimming because I like to swim. This is my best move and my best swimming move. So in 2013, we played against Tunisia and we were leading by 1 point. Then I lost the ball in 9 seconds down the game, so we lost the game after that. It was really tragic. I never forget that moment. I will choose Tim Duncan definitely because he was a really pragmatic player, good shooter, and very quiet on court. So it was something that was inspiring me to play like him one day. Real Madrid. I wear 14.5 years. No, I was a bright student, so I didn't see any reason for me to cheat. I think I will be Tupac because I really like the way and the flow he used to do. So he was ahead of the time by the time he was rapping. Being innocent, not thinking about the future, not thinking about any worrying about everything, knowing that your parent is there to take care of everything. Music. I always put my cast on and listen to loud music. Definitely I will pick Rwanda. I fell in love with that country as soon as I landed. Since then I never went back to Congo. It's called Bugali, and if I'm eating it, it gives me a lot of energy, and I like to dance Congolese music as well, Okay.
Last we checked, Nyambura had taken the lead on Armchair Experts. So, Brenda has quite some ground to cover in round 2 as we hand you back to Lynn.
Welcome to round 2. Remember, it's Brenda on 1 point and Nyambura on 5 points. This round is called Convince Me, and here is how it works.
Round 2, Convince Me. You each have 15 seconds to argue for or against. 2 points are up for grabs.
And this week we're saying Cristiano Ronaldo was the workhorse at Real Madrid. Brenda, you are for, and Nyambura, you are against. Your 15 seconds start now, Brenda. Convince me.
Cristiano Ronaldo was indeed the workhorse behind Real Madrid, because you can look at, since he left, Real Madrid has not been the Real Madrid we know. They come from being defending champions, 3 times Champions League holders, to now a struggling team.
And your time is up. You have argued quite well. Nyambura, it's your time to top that, and your 15 seconds start now.
We can't say he was a workhorse because you play as a team. Playing as a team means that Cristiano Ronaldo got assists from his teammates, and right now Real Madrid are 5th. Last season they finished 3rd, so it's not that a difference.
And your time is up, Nyambura, and you have both argued really well. Amazing points, but I think the contestant who convinced more is Nyambura, so you get the 2 points. And let's have a look at what that has done to the leaderboard. It's Brenda on 1 point and Nyambura on 7 points. Catch round 3 later in the show.
Nyambura isn't slowing down one bit, but history shows that surprises are a constant feature in the quiz, so it's not over. Now, earlier in the show, we looked at the complicated nature of Africa's transfer window system. While most markets are currently open, one man still dreams of playing there, and that is Uganda international Shafiq. Now, last November, he experienced what it would be like playing in England when Kenyan champions Gor Mahia took on Everton in a friendly. Despite the 4-0 loss, he wants more.
I'm from Uganda. I was born in Jinja, the source of the River Nile. My parents are still there. They have always wanted me to play football here in Europe. They have always believed in my abilities on the pitch. My dream has always been to play here. There are teams that I have followed, supported and loved since childhood, such as Tottenham Hotspurs and Liverpool. Even Everton is a great club with a great history. It is a club I think about. If I woke up one day and found myself here, I would play my heart out, because it has always been my dream to play in the English Premier League.
Wachezaji ambao umekuwa unawaangalia katika Everton.
Zuma. He is hard-working. He's a strong defender. He can tackle, he can fight and win the ball and keep the play. Walcott can help the team with his acceleration or change the pace in the final scoring zone. He's a game changer.
Final zone ya kufunga ama yanaweza badilisha yani game.
Shafiki, hebu tafakari kujikuta tena katika uwanja kama huu. Safari hii sio kuja kutembea na mechi ya kirafiki. Unacheza hapa.
I can feel so good. Naweza sikia vizuri sana.
I would feel so good if I found myself playing here, because it is my dream to play on a pitch such as this. In Africa, the pitches are not so good as these ones in Europe. So if I got a chance to come and live and play here, I'm sure I would play great football. Everyone in the world would definitely recognize me. This pitch would be such a great platform to showcase my skills. I'd be thrilled to find myself playing here for any club in the English Premier League. It is my dream.
Naweza furahia niwe tunaishi hapa. Ndio ndoto yangu ya maisha. Naweza sikia poa sana.
It's crunch time in round 3 of Armchair Experts. Brenda has quite some ground to cover to usurp the dominant Nyambura, so let's go.
Welcome to round 3. Remember, it's Brenda on 1 point and Nyambura on 7 points, and here are the rules.
Round 3, the quickfire decider. 45 seconds to push up your score. Remember, shout your name before you answer or you'll lose out.
Brenda, Nyambura, are you ready?
Yes.
Time starts now. Which African country has hosted a FIFA World Cup?
Nyambura.
South Africa. Brenda.
Correct. The Merseyside derby is between which team?
Nyambura. Liverpool and
Everton. Brenda.
Correct. Which Kenyan athlete learned to train himself through YouTube?
Nyambura. Yego.
Correct. Which Japanese city will host the 2020 Olympic Games?
Nyambura. Tokyo.
Correct. The Theatre of Dreams is the nickname of the home of Manchester City. True or false?
False.
You're correct. The Olympics Games are held every 2 years. True or false?
False, Brenda.
Correct. What's the name of Arsenal's former stadium?
Nyambura. Highbury.
Correct. Where was Mo Farah born? Britain or Somalia?
Nyambura. Somalia.
You're right. Who were the winners of the inaugural Rugby Sevens tournament at the Olympics? Fiji or New Zealand?
Nyambura. Fiji.
You're correct. And time is up. Brenda, you got yourself 4 points and you got 5 points in this round. Let's have a look at what that has done to the final tally. It's Brenda on 5 points and Nyambura on 12 points. And that means that Nyambura is this week's Armchair Expert. Nyambura, congratulations. Come have a seat at the throne. How does it feel to win?
It feels so nice. She was a worthy competitor. I'm so feeling very nice.
Congratulations again and see you next week.
Congratulations, Queen Nyambura. You're our true champ for this week. Remember, you can get in touch with us on anything you've seen in this program via Facebook or Twitter, or you can head over to our BBC Sport Africa website where you can catch some of these pieces again. We're signing out for this week, but do tune in for next week and we'll be right back. I'm Janine Anthony and I'm saying goodbye.